What up, everybody? It's your boy Elijah, man, aka the Sports Nerd, man. We back at it again at My Brother and Me Sportscast. Today, I got my brother, Mr. Aaron Washington. Tell him about yourself, man.
Yo, what's up, y'all? My name is Aaron Washington. I'm a senior at the University of Nevada, Reno, originally from the Bay Area. What's up? Yeah, man. Me and Elijah go way back, man.
Like 4 flats on the Cadillac, man. Man, it goes back, man. We got some good memories.
For
But
real.
yeah, man, I'm glad I was able to bring you on, man. I know it's gonna be a good little podcast today, man. We're gonna have a little debate,
Yeah.
and you finally stepping in my world. We ain't going into the music world like we normally argue about. But man, we about to argue today, man, and have
Yeah,
a good
man.
little debate, man.
Yeah, man, I'm down. Thank you for having me.
So, man, the first couple topics, man, today we're gonna talk about just the scouting combine, man, just some little peaks that we've seen so far. Again, we're not gonna talk about everything, but we're gonna talk about some of the things that kind of caught our attention. And then we're gonna go to the NBA and talk about a couple things that happened over there, man. But man, starting it off, man, we're gonna talk about the scouting combine, man. We kind of posted something on Twitter, this week. We was talking about the whole Lamar Jackson, kind of situation.
Yeah.
I want your take, man. How do you feel he's treated, in this situation, as well as what's kind of your projections, kind of for him?
Right. So for me, like I love him as a quarterback. I think he's the best quarterback in the draft, only because I like playmakers. Like I like guys who can throw it, can run with the ball. I like guys who can scramble a little bit. I like, and if you look at all the tape on him, he checks all the boxes. Like he can throw, he can run. He's elusive in the pocket. He can take a hit. Like, and I always hate this like narrative around the draft when it comes like to especially black quarterbacks. Like, oh, we should move him to another position. He's like doesn't fit certain measurables and things like that. So like, and then to see, and I usually watch the combine a lot, but I haven't been watching in the last couple of years. But I actually watched it yesterday when he was throwing, and he was making a lot of the throws. Like he looked a little off on a couple of them, but like a lot of them he was hitting. Like he was driving the ball in there. He was looking pretty good in the pocket. So I think he's the best quarterback in the draft, like behind maybe Josh Allen. But I think that, guys like Rosen, Darnold, and Baker Mayfield, I think they're all just pretty much overrated to me.
Okay, I got you. So I mean, my narrative, man, on it. Let's start with this. I think Josh Allen is overrated coming out of Wyoming, man. I think he's definitely overrated. I think you're coming from a division, again, the Mountain West. Don't get me wrong, Cap came from the Mountain West. I mean, there's other quarterbacks, David Carr. There's plenty of quarterbacks that have came from this division. But I just don't like you didn't show me anything. Like even when I was watching you didn't show me anything where I was like, man, he's the it factor. Now, when I told you on Twitter, the person that I think is the best quarterback, and he just showed me throughout this whole season, is Baker Mayfield. And the only reason why I say that is because when it was time to put the team on his back, he put the team on his back. Even though he didn't get his team, I would say, to the playoff, championship game, he still put his team in a situation where they were even there. Their offense was moving at a rapid pace. I believe this year he set the record, or one of the records for the FBIS for most offense or most passing yards that he had. Again, it's just his tenacious, man. He reminds me of Johnny Manziel, but a more mature Johnny Manziel. You don't necessarily see the off the field antics in so much, regards. But I still see the stuff that he got called out for, in regards to the coin flip when he was talking on the sideline. But I mean, that's anybody, and again, I'm more of a representation of that, man. But following, I think a 1A, 1B is him and Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson this year had better numbers than he did last year, and he won the Heisman last year. Again, he was in the running. I still think he should have won it, but don't get me wrong. I mean, again, he was going against some great people. Again, Baker had put up some great numbers. I still think Lamar did better with less talent compared to Baker Mayfield. Coming from a big conference, championship, or I'm sorry, good Big Five school. And he had that. But I think Lamar Jackson, man, I'm tired of the narrative, man, of African American quarterbacks go for they should be a receiver. You think about it, Deshaun Watson. Why did Deshaun Watson drop all the way to the second round last year? Deshaun Watson should not have dropped all the way to the second round last year. I said this last year, and I say it again. Deshaun Watson was the best quarterback coming out, hands down.
Easily.
he should have won 2 national titles, didn't,
Mm-hmm.
but he put his team on his back. The year that he did lose, he put the
Mm-hmm.
team on his back, and they came close to winning that championship. But then you fast forward, he should have been able. And then when he did win it last year, everybody was like, "Man, his arm strength wasn't. Alabama's defense was just tired." It's
No,
like, what,
no,
man?
I'm
Like,
not rolling with that.
come
Nah,
on, man. Like
because
I said,
there was no reason in hell that that Deshaun should have been picked behind Mitchell Trubisky or Patrick Mahomes.
okay, can I?
Like,
Okay, tell me. Can I? Can
yeah,
I say something before you go
yeah.
on?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
First
Go
of
ahead.
all, Mitchell Trubisky, I hands down, that is the worst player. Like, you have 1 year and your tape wasn't even that good. And again, I'm not going to break down your tape, but your game film wasn't even that good. You didn't even get your team in the top 25, but you're
Not even
considered a
close.
number. But you're a number 2 quarterback.
How? How? How?
How does that happen? But a black quarterback does better than what you just did. Got a national title,
Mm-hmm.
puts up better yards,
Mm-hmm.
blew out so many different teams, was in the top 5 for his
Mm-hmm.
3 years that he was a starting quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
and you're telling me that he isn't a starting quarterback. Okay, come on. Go ahead, man. I just had
Bro, honestly, and even if you watch them, I'm not the NFL network draft expert, but even if you look at guys, if you compare Deshaun Watson's film against even against his 2 games against Alabama, against anything that Patrick Mahomes or Mitchell Trubisky did, he looks 20 times better on film. And even if I watch those games, I watch those games solely because of him, because I know what he can do. He can run. He can make plays. That's what he can do. That's what anyone. That should be the parameter of any quarterback. They should be able to win. And Mahomes, I hate quarterbacks from Texas Tech. Their system never translates to the NFL
at all, because you're in the shotgun. You're in the shotgun. You're basically in all you're doing. There's really no, I wouldn't say no reads, but there's very little reads. You know what I mean? You know where the ball is going.
Right.
Like I said, I love receivers coming from Texas Tech, but in regards to quarterbacks, nah,
No.
man, it doesn't translate. It doesn't
No.
translate.
And even if you I think the Chiefs made a huge mistake trading Alex Smith and getting rid of him to just hand over the franchise to somebody who didn't even play this season. Even if you're going off preseason film and garbage time stuff, it's not the same compared to an actual week 1 to week 16 during the season. I think the Chiefs have just made the biggest mistake in probably maybe their franchise, because you're trading a proven winner who's gotten you to the playoffs for a rookie who doesn't even come from the right system and didn't even learn for a full year. So we'll see how that goes.
I mean, the thing that sucks bad, he knew he was going to be the starter. You know what I'm saying? The next year, and I think Alex Smith did too. That's why Alex Smith was slanging that thing this year, throwing deep balls. We never see, as Niner fans, have you ever seen Alex Smith throw a ball over 20 yards?
Dog, Captain Checkdown. That's what he was.
You know what I'm saying? That was it. He was gonna give it to Frank, and Frank was gonna do what he did. That's it.
Yeah. The most annoying thing from the Alex Smith years was when they had Randy Moss for that 1 year, and he wouldn't throw over the top to him. I was at those games. He would never throw to him. I still
and he was
open. Open all the time.
With the hand up like this.
I remember there was one game I was at where he threw it maybe 40 yards to him against the Bills, and he caught it. And I'm in the stands hands up, what are we doing? That's first time I've seen him catch a deep ball all season.
I mean, at the same time too, you gotta look at what Harbaugh's offense was at that time.
Right.
Harbaugh's offense was smash mouth. We're gonna run the same exact plays, and we want you to stop us.
Exactly.
Again, this is not college ball. We're gonna run the same. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I feel like Harbaugh is probably one of the best coaches that I've seen, and to be able to translate from going to San Diego State, to Stanford, then going to the Niners and be able to put up the numbers that he did. I think his time will run out at Michigan. I'll be honest with you,
because they haven't really won anything.
Haven't done anything. You had the first year coming in where you had the hype year. Second year, you really didn't do. They didn't sign too many players in the top 5-star players.
Yeah, no.
But that's here nor there, man. That's here nor there. But I mean, like I said, we'll see. Like I said, I think, like you said, we'll come with Mahomes. I don't think it all depends. If their running back can make sure that the ball isn't on his shoulders, then they're good. You know what I mean? Yeah. But if the running back isn't balling out like he did last year, now they're putting 8 in the box, 9 in the box, and they're telling you to, all right, beat me with your arm.
Yeah, right.
And he can't beat you with your arm.
It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. But like I said, man, just talking about Lamar Jackson, man, for the last, wrapping it up.
Mhm.
I mean, I think he's getting just unfair criticism, in regards. I think that's any black quarterback that comes out. They don't say anything about it, and I hate listening to, the ESPN analysis
Oh yeah.
or even the NFL Network. I hate
Hmm.
listening to them because you're talking about, or only time I like listening to NFL Network is when the players are talking. So
Right.
Lenny and you're talking about Steve Smith, etc.
Yeah.
But when we talk about the analyst, it's just always you could just feel the againstness of a black quarterback,
Right.
and it's like you really have to fight twice as hard in order for you to be able to get just an inch,
Right.
compared to a quarterback. Like again, I still think, and if you really, again, I know we're off topic, but I'm gonna still say my piece. I still think Jared Goff was the worst decision at number 1 pick.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
No. There
and
was no number 1 quarterback that year.
that year there should have been a first round pick, and it should have
No.
dropped all the way down maybe to the mid third. Again,
Right.
Jared Goff was not that great of a quarterback, and he
No.
still isn't. Again, your coach is protecting you,
Right.
and let TG not break off next year, and TG have a bad year like he did when he was under
Fisher.
when he was under
Jeff
Fisher.
Fisher. Yeah.
It's gonna be the same thing all over again because they can't protect you if
No.
Todd Gurley ain't getting off. So, but yeah, man, that's my last 2 cents. You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, man. Just to anybody who's listening and understanding, Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in this class. He's going to end up having. I feel like he's going to have the best career out of any quarterback. Better than Josh Allen. Better than Josh Rosen. Better than Sam Darnold. Better than any other quarterback available.
Way better than Sam Darnold, and I'm
Yeah,
a
because
USC.
I don't trust quarterbacks from USC. Me personally, I don't. I don't.
Hey, first of all, don't disrespect my school like that. All right. Hey, Carson Palmer is again is the only one. You're right. It's the only one. Because again, Matt Leinart didn't pan out.
Nope. Nah.
David Tabooty.
John David Booty. John David Booty
wasn't he was booty.
Trash.
He was booty. I mean, you had a lot, and
even Mark Sanchez. Let's go to Mark Sanchez.
But okay, this is okay.
No.
Before we wrap this up, I'm gonna say this last point.
Go ahead.
You look at Mark Sanchez's first 2 years. Well,
Okay.
Mark Sanchez did not have the game on his back where it was all on Mark Sanchez's arm.
Okay.
You tell me Mark Sanchez, I'm not saying was a top 10 quarterback, was at least a top 15 quarterback. He was a game manager.
Right.
When he had Thomas Jones behind him. And he didn't have to worry about throwing the ball. It wasn't no butt fumbles. It wasn't anything like that where he had to be a mature person in the offense. He was the second tier. Let me give it to Thomas Jones. Thomas, do what you do. And LT was back there, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. He was there for 1 year.
Yeah, I think it was LT, and then the next year after that was Thomas Jones. But again, I mean, that's how I feel. Again, I don't think Mark Sanchez was as bad as what people think. When it got later in his years, yes, I think he just was, because again, you're trying to put a team on your shoulders, and that's like saying Geno Smith is a good quarterback. Come on now, Geno Smith is the second coming of Jamarcus Russell. Let's be honest here. But yeah, man.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But yeah, man. The next topic, man, I want to get into is something you kind of brought up, man. You were talking about the NBA and about the Kawhi Leonard situation, man. What's your take on it?
I think this is probably one of the weirdest stories in the NBA. Like you have like your, probably your top 3 weird stories. You got Markelle Fultz in Philly, Kawhi, and then you have anything surrounding LeBron. Like that's the top 3 storylines of the season to me anyway. I think
Isaiah.
Isaiah,
he came in there, yeah.
That going to the Lakers. But for me, like I think the Kawhi thing it's weird. Like because I'm like I know which players are gonna have like drama surrounding them during the season, and like there's never anybody from the Spurs on that list
ever.
Like the Spurs are never like their franchise running away where like we keep everything in house. We don't tell the media jack. Like we're gonna keep everything in house. And now you got a superstar who's arguably one of the best players in the league, and at least the best defensive player in the league, who's injured, who is dealing with an injury. It happens; it's normal. But now all of a sudden you're hearing that Popovich comes out and says that he may not come back this season. All right, cool. But then the reports come out that Kawhi is opting to sit out for the rest of the season. And you're like, okay, what's going on? And then you got reports of him being frustrated. They're not really winning like they should. Like they're not in title contention because the Warriors and the Rockets are right there. And they're not really making any moves to get any like big name superstars other than them getting LaMarcus Aldridge.
And I'll be honest with you, that was a steal. But again, I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. No, you're good. So for me, it's I don't even know if it's a good or bad situation. For me, it's just weird because like I'm always used to the Spurs always handling everything first class. You never really hear any drama. You never really hear anything like any players being upset. Popovich is probably my favorite coach in NBA history because he's always like on top of everything, and he's probably one of the funnier guys to talk to when it comes to media interviews. Like, so I think for me, it's just like a weird situation. And I really don't know how it's going to end up. Like, I don't know if he's going to end up just staying there, if like the Spurs are going to pull like a trade or something like that and trade him somewhere else.
Yes.
I don't know if that's going to happen. But for me, it's just it's one of the weirdest situations I've ever seen in the media or anything like that.
Okay, so me being the biased person, do I want to see him leave? Yes, because I want my Lakers to go get him ASAP. But the person that is a basketball, the basketball kind of mindset, I would never want him to leave the Spurs. I mean, the Spurs organization is by far one of the best organizations out there.
Right.
If you have an assistant from the Spurs, they usually get head coaching position somewhere else because of the standard organization what they have. From what I've heard, again from Jalen Rose from Jalen and Jacoby, or all the way down to First Take, you just hear so many things about him not being happy. Again, like you said, in regards to not getting free agents, as well as them misdiagnosing him, just how Boston did Isaiah, with them. It's a bizarre situation, but something that I want to see, kind of play out. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping for Kawhi to kind of back up, and get back out there because he is, I wouldn't say injury prone, but he is injured, majority of a lot of the time. But if you think about it, even with him being injured, the previous years, he still has gotten Defensive Player of the Year
Exactly.
back to back.
He still produces. Like he's never like I don't think I've ever seen him have an off season. And like even if he does have an off season, the Spurs are still winning. So
I mean, even now they're still winning. They're still top 3 in the West, and the West is our division.
And it's the weirdest thing ever. Like but that just like you said, it speaks to how the organization's set up. Like they're able to really just like turn good assistant coaches out. They're a well coached team now. They have stars they have good role players who are looking like stars right now. It's crazy. Like, go ahead.
Go ahead. You good?
Nah. So yeah. So like for me, like you said, I want to see the situation play out. Like, of course, he's not leaving. I mean, in my opinion, he's not leaving. Like, I don't see him like just wanting to up and just like get traded or anything like that. Because I think Kawhi is easily one of the calmer guys in the NBA. Like
top 5 player in the NBA,
easily. And like anybody would want him on their team. Like
my Lakers sure would. I'll be honest with you. We need anybody that's a star that just wants to come.
Y'all got Isaiah. Y'all got Lonzo.
First of all, Isaiah is not going to be there after this year, unless he's signing a 1-year deal to be able to do exactly. If he's not, it's okay. We're gonna get rid of you.
Isaiah needs longevity. That's what he needs right now.
Hey, it's okay. Hey, you can sign a 1-year deal and then put yourself out there on tape. That's it. So get you this W, man. So get you this W. So, I mean, again, I would want Kawhi. If I'm the Lakers, man, I'm pitching PG this year. Next year, unless it's a trade, I'm pitching Kawhi. Imagine who is going to be able to score on that team. With you having PG guarding your best player. Kawhi guarding your best player. PG guarding your second best player. Ingram guarding whoever.
Hold up. If y'all get Kawhi and PG, there's no way Ingram's still there.
I bet
there's
you.
No way.
But we don't have to worry about getting rid of him though. That's the thing. He's still under a rookie contract, so we don't have to worry about getting rid of him. Is what I'm saying. Now, if we wanted a third piece, then we would get rid of him. If we wanted a third superstar, oh yeah, definitely. But would I want to get rid of him? Would I want to get the skeleton assassin? No, I wouldn't want to get rid of him at all, man. Hey, if we could keep all 3 players plus Kuzma off the bench, man.
One of those 4 is gone. One of those 4 is gone.
More than likely, it would be Brandon Ingram because Kuzma is the youngest, so they're gonna keep Brute. I know, honestly, Brandon actually is the youngest.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Brandon came out 1 year. Kuzma was a 4-year starter.
Right.
Okay. I don't know. Again, I'm not gonna say trade anybody. Just like I wouldn't say trade Randall. I think Julius Randle is the next. He can potentially be the next Draymond Green. I think he can potentially be the next Draymond Green. Not in regards from the outside.
Right.
I'm not talking about shooting the 3. No, I don't think that's in Julius's thing. But I'm talking about the defensive presence, being able to
Okay.
go coast to coast,
Okay.
that, you know what I mean, and be able to be a stretch five,
Okay.
or stretch four, you know what I'm saying, where he
Uh-huh.
can be where they play small ball. That's
I
what I
see it.
mean.
I see it from an athletic standpoint, like because he runs up the floor pretty well. He can get to the paint pretty well. But like you mentioned, I don't even know about the defense like that. So we'll see.
Yeah, like
But
I
I
said,
mean,
we'll see. Like I said,
yeah, yeah,
that's the one piece I think he's missing out of his game. He has the
right.
offensive game, but
Hmm.
I haven't seen the defensive portion just
Hmm.
yet of him
Hmm.
being like, man, I'm gonna step out and I'm gonna run my defense like a Draymond does. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I
But
mean,
yeah, we'll
we'll
see.
see. But like I said, Kawhi situation, man. I think at the end of the day, he's not gonna leave. As a Laker
Hmm.
fan, do you hope he leaves? Yes, I do. But is he going to? No, you're not going to leave the greatest coach, second greatest coach. I mean, Phil Jackson is the greatest coach ever.
Right.
But again, the next greatest coach would be Greg Popovich, hands down.
Easily.
And I think hands down he should definitely. There's no reason for you to leave it. Just like LaMarcus wanted to leave this offseason. He ended up
Hmm.
talking to Pop, and now he's the vocal point of that offense.
Yeah, I think all this might come down to Pop. I think Pop needs to have a conversation with him if he hasn't already, and be like, "Hey, like we need you here. We're gonna try and do X, Y, and Z." And they've been in the playoffs every single year, so it's not like they're in the lottery every year. So I think it's just one of those situations where it's going to take some more in-house discussion and like a lot more discussions with like the organization, the head coaches, and things like that, and it'll work itself out. But yeah, like
Definitely,
it's just definitely one of the weirdest stories of the season.
definitely. So lastly, let's talk about Lebron James. Mr.
Yes. Oh
LeBron
God.
James, man. Let's talk about where he will end up next year.
Yeah.
Where are you feeling and where are you thinking?
So personally, I think he's staying in Cleveland. Like, there's no reason for him to leave at this point in his career. I understand the whole narrative, like, oh, LeBron needs more help. He doesn't really have anybody right now. Fine, I hear all that. I do. But at the same time, this is the youngest and the best team he's had in a very long time. I say this is the best team from top to bottom he's had since Miami. I think so.
Okay, come on, man.
You
Hurry
get
up finish. Hurry up finish, man. Hurry up finish. Hurry up
so
finish.
like you get like he's got young playmakers. He's got some vets. He's got some vets like George Hill. He's got Larry Nance who's super athletic and can jump out the gym. Kevin Love's still coming back. Rodney Hood can shoot it from all over the court. I mean, at the five, you can Tristan Thompson. Okay, all you need him for is rebounding and put his hands up on defense. That's it. But I think this is the best team he's had in a really long time, and I think that showed the organization showed that they're willing to make some moves. And so for me, I think that he should stay. There's no point in him messing up his legacy and going to Philly or going to LA, going to San Antonio, going to Houston or any of these
Because
like
we sure
top
don't want
teams.
him. I don't want him. Shit.
You don't want him? Oh,
Not
that's
the Lakers.
you're the first Laker fan I've heard say that.
I don't want
The
him.
first, the first.
I don't
But
want him.
people get wrapped up in like this NBA 2K like franchise mode kind of like deal when they're like just plugging players here and there, but they're not thinking like, oh, this isn't going to work. But I think it works for him in Cleveland. So as for right now, because he's been winning every year, he's been consistent. He's got championships there, or he's got a championship
About to
there.
say,
He's
let's
looking
get it
for another
straight.
one.
One.
He's got
Yeah, one.
a championship there.
Yeah.
And so I think this his best decision would be to stay in Cleveland for the rest of his career. Honestly, I don't want him to get 30 minutes a game in Miami or in Houston or anywhere else.
Honestly, I don't think it's his best team.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I say that is because he has surrounded by role players. You got
Right.
Jordan Clarkson, that is a great role player off the bench. Rodney
Mm-hmm.
Hood is a great role player that would be coming off the bench in any other team that he plays on.
Okay.
George Hill would not be starting. You know what I'm saying? If
Mm-hmm.
there was another player, as you see in Sacramento, couldn't start over Darren Fox.
Well, because De'Aaron Fox is playing lights out. That's why.
Darren Fox
Come
wasn't
on.
even, but Darren Fox wasn't even starting. Mason was getting more minutes than him.
True, but De'Aaron Fox. Well, I don't think they signed George Hill to be a starter. I think they just kind of brought him on to be like a mentor or something.
They originally did before the draft. They signed him before they were thinking he was going to be.
Right.
Then when they got Darren Fox, and Darren Fox fell all the way down to him,
Mm-hmm.
and then you had Frank Mason that also dropped down to him.
Mm-hmm.
Again, going back, Sacramento had the best draft hands down last year.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody thought differently, they need to be slapped because you don't know basketball at all. If you're talking about they didn't have the best draft, they had the best draft, getting players at the 3, 4, and 5 position, or 3, 4, and 1 position. But yeah, going back to LeBron, man, I think he has a great. This is his best supporting cast in regards to role players.
Right.
In regards to stars, in regards to being able to help him go over the threshold to compete with the Warriors, compete with Houston, compete with San Antonio.
Mm-hmm. No.
This is not it. I don't see anybody on that team that's gonna take over a game when LeBron has an off game because there's 7 games. LeBron is not going to be on for 7 games.
Okay.
There's going to be an off game. Somebody has to step up. That's the reason why Kyrie was so good at what he did because when LeBron fell down, Kyrie was right there to step up. Kevin Love filled in the little gaps, having 18 and 10 here, maybe 20 and a 10 game. He was able to fill in. JR would have had 15, because he was, getting hot, but we know Soup is his kind of weakness at this moment.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things where if he, I think the best bet would be for him to stay in the East next year.
Mm-hmm.
I would like for him to stay with Cleveland, so we don't have to deal with this drama next year about where he's going. But best bet, if you wanted another ring, would be to go to Philly. What they have over there in Philly is something that's you got Embiid, you got Simmons, you got Embiid. Embiid is lights out, and then you got the other 7-footer that they have. Forget how to pronounce his last name.
Sarge.
Yeah, they got him. Yeah. Then you got JJ. The JJ signed a deal, so you're gonna have presence.
True. And true. You're correct in all that. Like I'm not doubting that because Philly is the best option, but I don't think that's the most realistic option.
I think the real option should be him to stay there. But we also thought he was going to stay in Cleveland the year that he made the decision to go to the Heat.
Very true. Very true. But my whole question is around like if he goes to Philly, how is he going to play with Ben Simmons? Because they're kind of similar in their play styles. They're not like score first guys. They like to pass the ball a lot, then they can't score. Although Ben Simmons doesn't have nearly a good jump shot than he needs to be. But honestly, I can see. Just imagine like the pick and rolls with LeBron and Embiid for a game. Like that's crazy, and even him kicking out Sarge or JJ. Like that's a crazy prospect. So I get it from like just the what if standpoint of like him going to Philly and like playing with all these young guys.
But he'll develop Simmons though.
Oh yeah,
I'll give that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'll be if you can sign LeBron to a 5-year deal or a 4-year deal, max deal. You know what I mean? I would be good for 4 years for Simmons to be under him, for Simmons to be able to get to know that, and I think our best bet. But if LeBron was chasing a ring, that's the best team we should go to. Again, if you're not going to the Celtics, which the Celtics is the best team to go to, but if you're not heading in that direction and you're just trying to go youth, and it could be either Milwaukee, where he can go play with Bledsoe like he's always wanted to, and go play with the Greek Freak. You can go play with him. You know what I'm saying? And you have a nice squad over there.
You can.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's 3 options to go. If you wanted to go somewhere and play somewhere, you would go to the Celtics hands down. But
like, oh no, go ahead.
But again, Kyrie doesn't want to play with you. Again, that's the reason why Kyrie left. I don't want you to follow me. So again, that shouldn't happen. But in all honesty, again, it'd be the Celtics or it would be Celtics or Cleveland. Honestly.
Yeah. No, like the Celtics thing. It looks good from a look standpoint of him just like being with Kyrie again in Boston, like one of the most storied franchises in NBA history. That I get that point, but yeah, I think Cleveland's going to be the best option for just his legacy because like I don't think he wants to deal with the whole media scrutiny all over again than when the first time he left. Although he'll handle the situation a lot better than he did then, he's not going to televise it.
At the
in a terrible button up. Like he's not going to do that again. Like. He's going to handle this probably the right way. He's going to be super silent about it. He'll, release his little press release or wherever. He'll do the press conference and all that, and then he'll go from there. But I don't see him leaving Cleveland. I think that it's pretty far-fetched to see him going anywhere else, really. And then people bring up like the fact that he has 2 houses in LA. And like NBA stars have houses all over the place. Like that don't even matter to me. Like
his son is going to school in LA. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just throwing that out there. But again, I don't want his
son's probably going to college out there.
I don't want him. Don't want him. Not even a little bit. Don't.
All right. I like to hear the realistic Laker fans. Shout out to y'all.
This is Kobe Bryant territory. This is where no, I don't want LeBron. But yeah, man. Like I said, man, we wrapping it up. I appreciate you getting on, man.
Thank you, man.
You guys got a little anything to say, man, before we get out of here?
Nah, man. Follow me on Twitter at @TheAaronWash, TheAaronWash. Usually where you see me just talking a lot during the day. Yeah, man. But yeah, thanks for having me on, bro. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Anytime, man. We're gonna get out of here, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Like I told y'all, man, I fell off. We're not gonna say why certain things happen, man. I'm a shout out to my brother, VJ out there. But like I said, man, we're gonna try to keep this going, man, where I can give so y'all some content, man, at least weekly. and be able to kind of be consistent on our part, man. My goal is to hit 100 episodes this year, man. So we'll kind of see how it goes, man. And looking forward to the new step, man. But I appreciate you coming on, Aaron, man.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Hope everybody out there, man, you have a good week. Looking forward to seeing y'all soon, man.